1975, it sentenced to 12 years of imprisonment on the 3rd of December 1976. Sabota working with the band organization and trying to leave the country illegally. And of that 12 years, I served 11 and a half on Robben Island. 1987, the 30th of May, I was released from Robben Island. The 4th of June 1987, I got redetained under the then state of emergency and released again on the 27th of November 1988. I was 20 and a half years old when they arrested me. Now I am 62 years young. And we were kept at Portsmouth prison for 3 days. And on the 6th of December 1976, we were transferred to Robben Island. 8 o'clock that morning, we boarded the ferry at Jetty 1. Not where you boarded the ferry, but right across Spur, McDonald's and Mug and Bean. There is Jetty 1. On Jetty 1 are some holding cells, and that is where the history of Robben Island starts. The history of Robben Island does not start here, guys. It starts over at Jetty 1. 8 o'clock that morning, we were brought where you got off the boat a few minutes ago. That is where we first got off the boat in 1976. We were met by warders, and can we please control the kids if we can possibly can. We were met by warders with dogs down there. Up in prison we had the same reception. And when we walked through those two doors that you just walked through, when the warders closed the door, we cried. And then we were lined up here next to this wall here. And we entered the reception office on my left there, and we were issued with a prison ticket. I'm just switching off my phone. And on that prison ticket were all the details. And from the 6th of December 1976, Tom Moses ceased to exist until 1987. And Tom Moses became known as 2176. 2176. That was my prison number until I was released from Robben Island. You lose that ticket, they punish you. And you don't have the ticket on you, they punish you. And on my right, that is where the study office was during those years. In that office worked a sergeant called Sergeant Van Kraan. And in that office, another officer worked, Sergeant Adjutant Kraan was responsible for educational studies. Pieren Boertsport was the prosecuting officer during those years on Robben Island. Not all political prisoners that came to Robben Island during those years were educated. Some of us were not. Some of us could not read and write. But when they left Robben Island during those years, because education on Robben Island was made compulsory, not by the authorities, but by those prisoners already serving here on Robben Island, education was prioritized. Not like today, fees must fall, vandalize our schools, burn down buildings. No. During those years, education first. And even today, I must emphasize that today, if you are not educated, a diploma and matric does not take you through life anymore. South Africans, I'm not talking to those others, I'm talking to the South Africans. So then, those years, this prison was still under construction, and this prison was only completed in 1965. On the 18th of August, then they completed building this prison. Prior to that, all political prisoners were kept at the Zinc and the Oudtshoorn amongst the criminal prisoners. And on completion of this prison, those prisoners were brought here in 1965. But from 1965 up to 1970, all those hardened criminals that were kept on the mainland were brought to this side, this maximum security facility. And in 1970, they transferred them back to the mainland. It was then clashes broke out between political prisoners and criminal prisoners during those years. And from 1971 onwards, only political prisoners came to this site called Robben Island. There were no black warders here. Black warders were removed from the island or transferred and they were replaced by white warders. We had good warders here, and we had bad warders here during those years on Robben Island. And also during those years on Robben Island, there were no female prisoners. They were kept at Pollsmoor and Kroonstad. There were no white male political prisoners here. They were kept at Pollsmoor and Pretoria Central. And there was only one white prisoner that came to Robben Island. He killed Hendrik Verwoerd on the 6th of September 1976. They brought him here for a couple of months, and then they took him back to Pretoria, and that is where he died. And his name was Dimitri Zafendas. You happy so far, guys? Follow me. Okay, this is the census office where we stop now. In this office during those years, this is where letters were censored or read first. Any letter coming from your family, they read it first. Any letter coming from a prisoner inside, they read it first. But after them reading it, it was sent then to the security police during those years, and they will decide whether your letter reached your family and whether your family's letter reached you. But anything that is bad, it reaches you today. If it's received today, tomorrow you get that letter. And books that we used during those years, if there were content in that book that they don't want you to read, then they keep that book until you are released, or they send it back to the supplier. I am not okay now. No, I'm not okay. Can I get you another tour guide, guys? Huh? I am not okay now. I am not okay. Just give me a minute or so. Okay. Let me just go and get some water, guys. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the disruption. Sorry, guys.